Отстреливается? Да. О, пидоры! Дивіться, десь окно може бути. Отстреливается! Укриття!
This isn't just content. It reflects a difficult reality that deserves to be seen and understood. The Ukraine-Russia war continues to affect countless lives, yet videos like this often don't reach the audience they should because of limited visibility on YouTube. Your support can help change that. If this video resonated with you, consider leaving a like and dropping a comment with where you're watching from. Even small actions like these help the algorithm recognize its value and push it to a wider audience, allowing more people to stay informed and aware of what's happening. In the Kupiansk direction, the operation begins with quiet precision. Fighters from the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine, Orion unit, move in coordination with drone pilots, tracking a hostile reconnaissance group operating ahead of the main lines. This isn't SLU-che-ikratkoyi contact. It's a planned interception. The drones locate first. From above, movement is detected, patterns analyzed, and positions confirmed. Every step the enemy takes is watched. Every attempt to stay hidden becomes harder. The advantage shifts before the ground team even closes the distance. Then the infantry advances. Slow, controlled, weapons ready. The clearing operation begins with discipline, not speed. Each escalation air is approached carefully, angles covered, spacing maintained. There's no rush, only methodical movement designed to close in without exposing unnecessary risk. Pressure builds from both directions. From above, drones continue to observe and adjust. On the ground, the Orion unit tightens the perimeter. The enemy is forced into a smaller space, losing the ability to maneuver or regroup effectively. And once that space collapses, the outcome begins to take shape. The hostile group is engaged and neutralized under coordinated pressure. But even after contact, the operation doesn't stop. The area must be cleared completely, every position checked, every possibility accounted for. Because in operations like this, control isn't assumed. Footage released by the Unmanned Systems Forces Ukraine reveals a sustained and deliberate campaign unfolding far beyond the immediate frontline. This isn't a single strike or isolated moment. It's a continuous effort aimed at dismantling the systems that control and defend the airspace. From the drone's perspective, targets begin to emerge, carefully selected and tracked over time. Among them are Tor M2 and OSA units, both designed to detect and destroy aerial threats. But in this footage, the roles are reversed. The hunters become the targets. The approach is calculated and controlled. Drones move in from angles designed to reduce detection, exploiting gaps in coverage and timing their movement with precision. There's no unnecessary motion, only positioning, alignment, and preparation for the strike. Then impact. Strikes land directly on air defense systems, hitting key components and rendering them ineffective. Each successful hit removes a layer of protection, opening space where resistance once existed. The effect is immediate, but its importance goes far beyond the moment of impact. Because air defense isn't just about individual systems, it's about networks. Layers of coverage working together. Overlapping detection zones. Remove one element and the structure begins to weaken. Remove multiple and the entire network starts to lose cohesion. The ability to track, respond, and protect begins to degrade. And the strikes don't stop. They continue, one after another, targeting not just what is visible but what is critical. Some systems are hit while stationary, others during movement, but each strike contributes to the same outcome: disruption. That disruption spreads. Air defense crews are forced to adapt, reposition, and operate under constant threat. Activation of radar systems becomes a risk. Movement becomes exposure. What was once a stable defensive layer turns into a vulnerable set of targets under continuous pressure. And that changes the battlefield. Because as these systems are degraded, opportunities begin to open elsewhere. Airspace that was once contested becomes less controlled. Other aerial operations gain more freedom to move, to observe, to strike. The balance doesn't shift instantly, but it shifts steadily. The footage captures more than destruction. It shows a pattern, a methodical effort to reshape conditions by removing the systems that hold them in place. Each strike builds on the last, increasing pressure across the entire defensive network. That sustained pressure begins to compound, turning individual strikes into a continuous cycle that the defending side struggles to keep up with. Every damaged system requires time, resources, and coordination to repair or replace, but those same resources are now under threat as well. The deeper this campaign reaches, the more strain it places on everything connected to those systems. Crews are forced into constant adaptation. Positions that were once stable are no longer safe. Every relocation carries risk. Every activation draws attention. Instead of controlling the airspace, they are reacting to it, adjusting under pressure, trying to maintain functionality while avoiding detection. And that shift alone begins to reduce effectiveness. Because air defense depends on confidence, on timing, on coordination between multiple units. Once that coordination is disrupted, response times slow. Coverage becomes inconsistent. Gaps appear, not just physically but operationally. What used to be a connected network starts to behave like isolated elements. And isolated systems are easier to target. The drones exploit that. They return, again and again, not just to strike, but to observe, to confirm, to identify the next opportunity. It becomes a loop of detection and engagement, where each cycle weakens the structure further. Meanwhile, the broader battlefield begins to reflect those changes. Airspace becomes less predictable. Movement becomes more flexible. Operations that were once limited by defensive coverage start to expand. The impact of these strikes isn't always immediate on the surface, but over time, it reshapes how both sides operate. And that's where the real effect is felt. Not just in destroyed equipment, but in the loss of control. Because when the systems designed to protect the sky can no longer do so reliably, the balance begins to shift in ways that are difficult to reverse. From above, a reconnaissance drone hovers over the damaged structure near Kostiantynivka, capturing the aftermath of a recent strike. The scene is tense, not because of active combat, but because of what's been left behind. The dam stands partially damaged, its structure holding, but only just. The attack was carried out using heavy aerial bombs equipped with glide kits, allowing them to be released from a distance and still strike with precision. The impacts didn't fully destroy the dam, but they didn't need to. The goal was disruption, and that's exactly what happened. Water has broken through. Not a full collapse, but enough. Enough to change the terrain, to flood sections, to create obstacles where none existed before. For defenders on the ground, this isn't just environmental damage, it's a tactical complication. Movement becomes slower, routes become limited, and positions that were once stable now require reassessment. And from the drone's view, the effect is clear. The structure remains, but altered. The water keeps moving, spreading into low ground and reshaping the immediate area. What were once reliable paths now become uncertain, forcing defenders to adapt in real time. Vehicles slow, infantry reroutes, and every movement has to be recalculated against a landscape that's no longer predictable. And that's the real impact. Not just the damage to the structure, but the shift in how the ground itself can be used. Because when terrain changes under pressure, every plan built around it has to change too. This isn't just content, It's a reminder of a reality that continues beyond the screen. The Ukraine-Russia war is still affecting countless lives, and stories like this deserve to be seen. If it resonated with you, leave a like and share where you're watching from. Your support helps spread awareness and ensures these moments are not overlooked.